in year one, we had a 30-mile-an-hour headwind for 60 miles, 36 degrees, raining, totally fucked. I mean, I don't know how many people broken bikes everywhere, but he went out until like the wee hours of the evening and we were just rescuing people. We had 100 people with hypothermia in the ER. Gabe Montgomery had no brakes at mile 30 going into Guthrie, and he went downhill and couldn't make the turn and went through off a ravine and fell 30 feet and broke his leg. He broke his arm, he broke his collarbone, he broke 4 ribs, punctured his lung. And if no one would have seen him do it, he would have died.
Did that make you think this is a bad idea?
No, fuck no. I was like, oh, shit, yes.
95% of the pros on the circuit go, if they live anywhere where there's snow or real winter, they go south for the winter specifically to train. They go to Arizona, Utah, Mexico. Adam does all of his base training in Canada, and most of the time it's below freezing. I think that's one of the things that he really has an advantage in a race like this because of that. He spends his entire winter in much, much worse conditions than what he's doing right now.
As you can see, you can try, it's not turning. I need that stick! Cycling has always been part kind of my family. So my mother and my father actually met at a bike race. It was just at the age of 15 that individual sports made more sense for me because it was easier to link effort with result, I guess. And from that point on, I just did mountain biking for 3 years and a half, pretty much. I don't know, I kind of learned how to enjoy the effort and learn how to train by myself. So we are on our way to the course. As soon as we're gonna arrive on the gravel, I'll go out on the bike and check the course out. It's my first time in Mid-South, so Addison is very handy today. He's like the old guide.
One thing that Adam has never had in his cycling career is someone to make sure that when he shows up on race day, all he has to worry about is getting to the line as fast as possible. So I'm gonna hopefully give him that opportunity and take some of the back end privateer weight off of his shoulders.
I tried national on the road. I took the good move and I was able to drop the guy that was with me and just finish solo winning national. For the next 4 years racing professionally for 2 UCI road team. I got contacted from a pro bicycle company to ride gravel. As an athlete, gravel is kind of the perfect middle ground because of my mountain bike background and road background. The TTing of road cycling makes you very good at suffering by yourself. You have the mental fortitude of TT, you have the strategy and pack riding of road, and you have the technical skills from mountain bike. In road cycling, you're either going very, very hard or very, very easy. And gravel, you're mostly always grinding. So I had to adjust the training there and also make an adjustment in terms of time because it's a little bit longer. And hopefully what I did this winter pays off.
It's gonna be a classic Mid-South.
Mid-South is ultra endurance weekend festival, whatever you want to call it.
I don't know a lot about Mid-South, I would say.
From 08, the moment that I heard about Unbound gravel, I thought there are 500 people, 700 people, whatever it was at the time, coming from all over, mostly Texas too, to Emporia to ride 200 miles in June. And there's nothing in the spring. So let's do 100 miles in March.
Gravel is really special because you cannot take one race and apply it to the other because the distance is different, the pavement is different. So much changes in a gravel race.
When we go to town, when we move to Stillwater, let's see if the dirt roads are sick. And if they are sick, let's see if we can build a 100-mile route. Let's see if there's even enough roads to do like 100-mile route. And if it's cool, then we'll invite our friends and we'll throw a race.
I'm really happy to
have experienced the mud before the race. It's hard to like understand how fast it jams up. It's mostly gonna be like whoever's stronger on those kind of conditions.
Surviving.
Yeah, it's like a survivor's race, and whoever is like in the best shape to do like running and TTing is gonna have it. So yeah, it's gonna make it hard, make it kind of fun. We'll see.
When the conditions are like they're going to be tomorrow, all that sticky mud, it makes for a very epic race, and there's no other race that are even close to that. So.
Before the first race, dude, when none of us had ridden on the roads when it was muddy. In year one, the storm front showed up, and people walked 8 miles to finish that year. I was so excited, like naturally excited, that everyone was finishing, despite the conditions. That I just like did the most natural thing, and I gave them a hug because they worked so hard and like they deserved it.
Each event brings like a whole entire world in terms of riding, in terms of community, in terms of the place that you get to visit, the ambience.
The Mid-South is the full-on expression of community. Community is acceptance of everyone, who they are, where they are. I just want everyone that steps into town to feel loved, to feel welcome, to feel seen, to feel heard, and have fun.
How you feeling this morning?
Good.
Last night we swapped up. We decided to go 1x on the front chainring, and we also narrowed the tires. We went from a pretty wide, comfortable tire to a much narrower tire. And then you'll see we're experimenting a little bit. And I saw this trick on cross-country racing at the World Cup. They do this because, one, it creates a wax layer, so the mud's really hard to stick to it. But also, when mud does stick to it, it just bounces around and falls off.
It's always hard to predict how you feel until you push watts. Great weather, so that's perfect. But so far, so good.
I use cycling as a way to kind of test how I'm living, if I'm living according to what I preach. If something I value, for example, is discipline, if I'm able to express it in cycling and go train every day, I will be able to express discipline in all the other spheres of my life.
Good morning, friends. We are about 2 miles into the race, about to end the neutral zone. The gravel section's coming up, and they are in a massive just group, slow poking it along, waiting for the first attack. You can see the entire train of people just like going into the distance. Pretty amazing sight, just absolutely.
I'm not sure what happened, but it changed from being pretty much unrideable at some sector to being pretty much as fast as pavement in less than 24 hours.
We have 3 riders off the front, mile 16-ish, big gap, at least 2 minutes.
At the beginning, nobody was willing to make any move. It was so fast that everybody was looking at each other, so it made for a big group for a long time.
3 riders, gap is coming down. If you can see the group right behind them. Still a bold move at mile 18 or so. For this
Wisdom is useless if it's not attached with action. The easy part for me is to learn about it, is to be passionate about it. The hard part is to really take it and apply it.
All right, mile 24, Glencoe Road, first challenging section of the course.
We turn right on that Jeep road that was really destroyed, so a lot of water. So some guys were running
into the Jeep track. I followed the pacing on the side of the road, and there were some barbed wire. There was no place to pass on the bike, so I got myself caught in the barbed wire. From that point on, I had to chase.
What we're seeing now is the aftermath of that first challenging section. The group has shattered.
After that technical sector, we were a group of maybe, I would say 30 coming into the first feed zone.
What do you want? Remove that tape, put some oil. Yeah. No, you're good. You're good. Yeah. There you go, bud. Get on it. Food. Bottles are there? Yeah, bottles are there. Oh, my chain, my chain.
If I could like really summarize my sport performance in one sentence or just my life's philosophy, and there is an ancient word in Stoic philosophy that is called arete. And arete means living every moment to the absolute best of your ability. So choosing the most optimal choice in every moment.
Mile 52. This is the crazy section of the course. Bridge is out. Riders have to go around, either try to ride it or dismount.
So I made my move there. I attacked just before the creek. So we had a pretty good gap, the three of us.
We got somebody attacking on the right side. They're absolutely stringing it out right now after that section. Pretty crucial point of the race.
I didn't know the industry was going to catch on. I didn't know that gravel bikes were going to be created. I didn't know the gravel gloves and gravel toothpaste and gravel contacts and like gravel hair gel and like all the shit. I didn't know that was going to happen, but I knew people would be stoked about riding bikes, flat bar, drop bar, or whatever on dirt roads. Like regardless of what's going on in this industry, riding dirt roads wherever you are is amazing.
And from that point on, it was kind of a race of being careful to limit damage. You don't want to flat or you don't want anything to happen to your bike, but you also want to be very smart. Sometimes we were working pretty well together, but other times we were looking at each other, arguing a little bit. And at 10K to go, cold went up the road, and towards the end of the race at like 2K to go, he was following the lead car, so was able to go on the red light.
Patton from Durango, Colorado! Your 100-mile champion! Mid-South!
We were the second group on the road, and we had to stop at the red light. It's part of gravel racing. You never know what's gonna happen. It's like the train in Europe, here is the light, and after that it was just a sprint for second place.
I can't even go their name! There you go!
I had second if I had gears, that's for sure. If you see the finish, man, I was like, oh, I've got it all.
I was like, at the start line, I was really confident into the setup Addison and I had come up with, but it didn't take me that long to realize, it changed. It kind of played like a road race. A lot of strategy was involved. The road race aspect really came to life because of the perfect gravel conditions. Mid-South, it feels so authentic. It really feels like a community event at the same time that has a lot of eyes on it.
Do you have any plans to sell and let someone else run Mid-South?
Why on earth would I create something with my heart and soul to sell? You only own something until you don't. Bikes are the vehicle at which we are doing what we're doing, but man, community is everything. Community is it's a hug. It's a hug.
At the end, it's funny how fast the struggle in your mind goes and you just forget about it and you convince yourself that it was fun. That's why we come back to all those gravel races, because the actual experience, I'm not sure if you can call it joy or pleasure, but you remember it like that.
This is how I feel. Alive and dead, sexy and ugly, beautiful and terrible. Let's do this fucking thing.